Hey, it's Tree. Welcome back to another video. Today in the background footage I am working on Volume 1, Chapter 3, page 10. I'm doing rough sketches on page 10. And on page 8, I'm finishing that up and doing some coloring and shading. So, remember when I said I forgot about my goals and then I immediately scrambled to work on those goals again? Well, alrighty then. I am working on my goals, and some of them goals include redrawing Wakefield Volume 1 pages 1 through 16, because those pages don't exactly line up with the sizing and everything of the other pages. So now I have to fix that, because if I ever want to print it, I can't if it's the way it is now. So we're working on that, and it's coming along. And I guess I kind of wanted to talk about that process a little bit. So one of the things for me is that I was out of practice with working on comics, but I knew there was things that I wanted to change and update. So when I would look at these pages, there was always a few things that I didn't really like, and from previous reviews of Wakefield, I finally decided that I didn't want to use my own handwriting anymore. So I think the biggest thing is that I'm using a specific font to update them pages, and that way people don't struggle to read my handwriting. I know my handwriting, it isn't that bad, but I think I should prioritize legibility in the future. That's something that I decided to do for these next 16 pages. Another thing is, like, some of the layouts, I don't like that very much, so I decided to change those up. So starting with the very first page that I redrew, one of the things that I decided to change was that I didn't like the angle of Frankie's house. So when I was redrawing it, I kept that in mind so that way it doesn't look weird. But another thing I ended up adding was that now Frankie kind of has his own little garage. I feel like Frankie's kind of a car guy, so that was needed. Another thing about the first page is I don't really like those sequence of events. He like slams the door, he's holding the key, and then there's the door, and I just feel like that's a lot for nothing. So I simplified that into where he's closing the door and now he's opening the door, and I feel like that flows a whole lot better. Now for page 2, the sequence of events I don't think makes sense, so I changed it up a lot here. He enters the house, there's the box, he's going up the stairs with the box, the door's open, music's playing, and then later he's tired because he's been working really hard. And now I've simplified that to, he's got the box, he's carrying upstairs, he unboxes the music box, the music's playing, and then he's resting because he worked very hard. And I just feel like that makes a whole lot more sense than it did. Page 3, I did not change the layouts that very much. They look pretty much the same, except the art's updated. I feel like the biggest difference for the next page is the fact that I've changed Emery's design a little bit. I've been drawing him a certain way for a long time, and I find that I wasn't enjoying drawing him that way, and I couldn't make sense of his hair. So that's why his hair's changed a little bit, and I really like how I've changed his hair. Because in the original, it wasn't very, it never looked the same on every page, if that makes any sense. And so far, as of me recording this on the 10th of July, those are the only ones that I've published so far. But I have line art for the next two, so we're going to talk about those two while we're here. And then I guess I'll do another video talking about the changes as I get along through this project. But also, I might take some time between this update and the next one, just because I need to draw them. But also, I don't want to bore you guys with just talking about the redraws. Another thing that I've been doing is that I'm trying to update our Instagram a little bit more, because I haven't been doing that in a very long time. Last time I did it was back in Halloween of 2021, and I should really get onto it. So I've been posting like the redraws versus the originals, and also the sketch versus the finished product. I've even made a reel video that did pretty well, so I feel like I'm going to try and do some more of these. So on page 4, I decided to change the layout a little bit more, as well as smushing different dialogue together instead of the original. So in the original, Emery's talking about the door being open. You see a shot of the door, and then he's like, I just kind of walked in, I live next door. And that's like 3 panels, and I just feel like 3 panels too many. So I ended up changing the direction of the shot, but also to where it makes sense that, like, yeah, the door's still open. Other than that, the layout's about the same, but it's drawn a lot better. I can draw plates and people passing things off better because I used a better reference instead of just winging it. Page 6, I didn't really change that much about it, except the way he's holding the brownie in panel 2. I just felt like him holding it in the palm of his hand didn't really make sense because he's about to eat it. And if he's gonna eat it, why is he just holding it in the palm of his hand? He's not gonna just smack his like palm to his mouth. He's gonna hold it and then take a bite of it. So that's why I changed that. Now, I feel like the next page is going to be kind of difficult because I don't like how they're carrying the couch, and I don't know why the guy's just standing there not saying anything. So I think I'm going to add a little bit of dialogue and introducing himself, then being like, hey, can you help me lift this couch? And then Emery helps him lift the couch. If you ever redo your pages, I definitely think that clarity can really help, because things can make more sense if you just change things around. You don't have to keep your redraws the exact same way the others looked, you know? And that's why I decided to change so much, is because I didn't like the original, and now I like the new ones a lot better. And I think that's very important too. If you're going to redraw something, at least be happy with what you've changed. Otherwise, for me, that just feels like a waste of time to have the opportunity to change things and then just leave it the same. Again, I'm redrawing these pages just for the sake if I ever wanted to print them, so that way I can. I don't know if I will ever redraw any more. I guess it just depends if I ever do print them and something comes up in the printing process, and then I have to redo them for the printing process again, then that's what we'll do. But I feel like that's everything that I need to mention right now. That's the first 5 pages. We still have 16 more to go total, so that's 11 more pages I needed to redraw, so I might just do 2 more updates of this and talk it through like I'm doing now, because I feel like it's a little bit interesting. Let me know if you find it interesting, but if it's not, I'm gonna do it anyway because I want to discuss the things that I've changed and why. And then maybe later on I can review the redraws as a whole and what they look like now that things have been redrawn. But thank you so much for listening to me ramble. I'm trying my best to make some more content on my YouTube channels. So definitely subscribe some more, because even though my update schedule is infrequent, I'm trying my best. And if you like listening to me ramble, I mean, you might as well subscribe anyway. But thank you so much for listening. Goodbye.